All right, let's do a citrus update for the beginning of spring 2024, and let's take a look at the damage from the freeze. And let's take a look at if you're contemplating of getting certain varieties. These were inside the barn, this metal barn, so they got some protection, but when it gets too cold, they still take some damage. So it's quite obvious though which one are the Arctic frost. Here's one right here, and we're going to get some Satsumas. I would highly recommend Arctic frost for northeast Texas, because if you give them protection, even on large pot or small pot, you take them inside the garage or barn, I mean, they do well. This one right here is Arctic frost. You can tell which one are the Arctic frost. They're so vigorous, and we're going to get fruits. And the fruit is sweet enough that it's not like it's very different from the other variety. You still get your Satsumas, and we're going to get fruit this year. It took a lot of damage last year, and this guy needs a haircut, but I'll wait. I think this is the Miho Satsuma. That's the Seto Satsuma right there, and they took some damage, but not as much as this two guys right here, which we'll talk about. And they're getting new growth, and we're gonna have fruits from this one. All this you can already see right there. There's a flower bud. So all right, something just kind of prune all the dead ones, kind of like this one right here. And yeah, so Miho, Seto, they did fine. They're getting their flush of new growth and flowering. All right, this one, it's the Page Mandarin. It's basically the weakest of all my citrus. It's not meant for this area. I protect it. But you really need to protect this, like bring this inside the house. But it's my mistake. I put it on this massive 30-gallon mineral tub. Yeah, and that's what happened. Can't really move it. It's too massive. Yeah, I've learned my lesson. They stay in small pots, and I just up pot them every 2 years with a slightly bigger one, change the soil. I have a video on that one from the previous upload. And this one is the Texas Republic of Texas orange. So I think the way this was positioned is that I have it closer to the openings, and it took massive damage. The other one that fruited a lot last year, this fruited a lot also. You can tell there's a lot of fruiting kind of twig from it. The other one was inside the house, and that one, made it, so no damage at all. But this one survived, so this is kind of like the update. And looks like it won't freeze anymore, and I'm gonna prune all the dead ones and look at the rootstock growth and kind of clean those also. So that's what this video is for. Kind of just like an update on what happened to the damaged citrus. All right, and we're gonna start, and always spray your with alcohol, water and alcohol, so that you don't transmit the disease each time you prune this. So I got this kind of sprayed already for this one, and let's take a look at this. Let's kind of clean up. So previous damage, it's probably will curb that a little bit later so that water kind of flows down. It doesn't stay in that pocket. Okay, so the grafting line is right here. So anything above this line, this is all Page Mandarin. Anything below this graft line, this is rootstock. Most likely Flying Dragon with that kind of trifoliate. Hence the leaves. You want to prune on any of these. You don't want any growth from below the graft line, because that would be And I gotta work on fixing this later. Got all this dirt mounted here, probably when I gotta move all these leaves, fertilize it. There's some ants here too, so all sorts of not so good stuff. But I do expose the root quite a bit because I don't want anything kind of rotting. All right, so they have dirt up to here, and then maybe, oh, there's a lot of ants. Nothing actually ever happened to ants. I just leave them alone. Over time they leave once they're settled. So I'm gonna take a look at the other side, make sure there's no trifoliate growing. Doesn't look like. So I'm gonna start kind of trimming all this dead kind of limbs. Okay, I leave those kind of baby growth right there because I want it kind of like bush-like. All right, here it's so weird. It's still green and growing right here, but this branch looks like it's dead, but it's not. So you can see there's some right there. So I'll just kind of trim all this, kind of leave that. Looks like it'll make. All right, pardon the camera work. And that one is kind of going in there, so just be careful when you prune not to damage. So I'm gonna be super careful here and just kind of pull this out. You can see it already had kind of damaged that one right there because I should have pruned that last time. There's growth right here, so I'm looking for balance, or I might leave the growth right here and I'll top it off here, make it more kind of bushy. So I'm letting those kind of linger and see. Okay, plus there's not a whole lot of growth here, so most of it kind of got damaged. This one, it's pretty much dead up to, you always look for kind of swelling bud. That might be the new growth, definitely right here. It's still kind of alive, so I'll just prune this right here. Kind of a little bit of an angle for that bud right there, after that bud. Okay, so this one, it's fine right here. I'm gonna have to get loppers right here, get that dead branch. All right, let's take a look at the top. It's swollen right there. There's some swelling in here. Hello, Alden. Alden, say hi. All right, so we know it's gonna be kind of growth. It's dead right here. So there's this, probably cut it right here. Might be some growth right there. Okay, all right, and I've been doing this every year for this, since if I can't, usually, you know, the freeze report kind of come in late and you don't want to believe it, too lazy to move them, then all the regrets. Should have covered them with frost cloth inside the barn, so on and so forth. So anyway, all right. Okay, I gotta pick up those because this is very thorny. Here, it's gonna get rid of all this dead leaves. Okay, and kind of see those swelling. I gotta clean all this crap later. There's a little bit of swelling right there, so it looks like it's dead up to here. So it looks like that's swollen right there, so I'll just cut it right here. Okay, this one, I'm looking for kind of swelling node. I'll cut it here for now. And okay, All right, that looks like final haircut. For might be right here. I'll delete that one. Okay, so this one, it made it back. It's got to clean the bottom. All right, let me just spray the all right, so ready for this one here. So the Republic of Texas, all the growth, let's take a look. Trifoliate right here, rootstock growth, that's got to go. There's the graft line. So as you can see, this is not trifoliate, it's single leaf. So that's part of the Republic of Texas. All right, so that's the graft line right there. You see the line, and this one, it's got to go. All right, that's still part of the growth right there. I'm gonna let all this, I'm gonna let it kind of bush out right here. So it looks like we're gonna get orange again. All right, so let's take a look at this one. Dead branches for sure right here, and trying not to damage the other parts, just being careful. All right, it's a lot of flush up, new growth, and I gotta fertilize this, guys. Okay, all this ones, I'm not too sure what's going to this one for sure, and it keeps dying. It'll keep whatever's dead. It takes a while for citrus to show brown wood, and that's why there's a lot of false hope when you get freeze damage. You're thinking a lot of it survive, and then eventually it will brown up. And so right here up to where it's green right here, just kind of cut that. And this one, there's swelling right there. So, and this one is kind of green right here, so I'll just kind of trim away the ones that are for sure brown. And here, yeah, that's just like damaged all the way to so I'll just kind of trim all this at an even kind of section right there. This one, I don't know if this is going to live, but I can always trim later. I trimmed this guy's summer because there's a lot of the stuff that they're already fruited, and it smells so good when you cut citrus. Okay, swelling right there. It looks like it's browning down, so I'll cut it right here at an angle. All right, let's move that out of the way. Right here, looks like that's the end of it. There's growth on that side, so I'll just cut it right here past the node. Nope, cut that by accident. Okay, and this guy on top. All right, man, this guy was so pretty last time. It's starting to look at, there's a lot of kind of growth that's going. And the thing is, I have so many citrus that I'll just wait, and then I'll give it a haircut of my desire. All right, so if I wanted to kind of go like this a little bit, open it up in the middle, we'll see. Okay, but that's pretty much it with the citrus update. And we have probably 15 more citrus on the other side, but those were all protected inside. We have the Calamondin on those, a lot of the Poncan mandarin and whatnot. So, all right, they survived. They didn't look too good on the previous video. This one is, let me just spray the pruners, and then let's see here. This is the Seto, I think. Oops. I think this is Seto, and the other one's Miho. All right, what to prune here? Not much, just the dead leaves. And new growth, flowers. Okay, so this one is fine. Miho, I think. So they were outside already, and it didn't freeze, but it was the wind chill and all the new growth that couldn't handle it. They turned kind of brown. All right, and then the property, it's still a mess. I can't mow weeds and grass, it's too wet. So we'll do a separate video when everything looks nice. All right, so there's some dead limbs from the Arctic frost that I gotta take care of. There's another one, kind of long. So probably when they got damaged last time, that thing still showed us green, and then I didn't cut it. And now I'll kind of show you. All right, so a lot of this, it's kind of, yeah, it needs a haircut, but the fruits are gonna be at the end. I ain't giving it a haircut, so I want my fruits. All right, I'll just leave this alone and then worry about it come winter time. Let's see here, any damage here? I just kind of, yeah, just dead leaves. And probably here, there's one branch right there. Oh yeah, there's like a dead branch right here from the previous damage. Okay, so Satsumas, they're fine. They made it. Arctic frost, highly recommended if you're if you want the I mean, they still would die back. I mean, this guy got butchered when we had 0 degrees, so they can only handle whatever they're rated for a few hours, but they will most likely be the survivor if you buying any citrus. So Arctic frost Satsumas, if you don't you know, I mean, they taste pretty good, sweet. I mean, they do a blind test. I don't know if I could tell you know, between the other Satsumas, but yeah, look at how vigorous they are and survivability. Page Mandarin, weak. Republic of Texas, yeah, this are probably rated for 9, zone 9 without protection, but here in 8B, even Arctic frost gets destroyed. All right, well, I'll do another update probably in a month, see how these guys are, you know, and then we can also see and check what else ended up dying back. You know, look how it's green, but most likely it's dead. There's some swelling here though, so it'll be interesting to see in 2 months or a month which part of this. So I'm not going to trim them until that video. I'll just clean that little kind of section right here where it looks like it might collect water. So I'll just put a little kind of dip in there so that it all flows. It doesn't pull in there. Yeah, I won't do anything to this guys until that time, and then we'll see you know, how they progress. All right, thank you for watching.